What do I want friends to get from my music? Happiness.
Before Ski Mask the Slump God dropped tracks like Take a Step Back, With Vengeance, Baby Wipe, and Catch Me Outside, which is now certified gold. Before getting cosigns from his childhood heroes like Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Busta Rhymes, and collaborating with artists like Lil Pump, A$AP Ferg, Lil Yachty, Offset, and the late XXXTentacion.
We came from like nothing at all, like with no fans. So we seen literally our Instagram, SoundCloud, and Twitter go from 0 to wherever it is now.
Before Ski Mask would garner 820K followers on SoundCloud, close to 500K on Twitter, and 3.4 million followers on Instagram at the time of recording. Ski Mask the Slump God was raised in South Florida, Broward County, the same county that Kodak Black is from, where instead of homework, his dad would force him to practice his rhyme schemes. His dad was actually a rapper himself, going by the rap name Sin City, and wanted to make sure he passed down his skills to his son.
Don't look up my dad.
Now, I don't always listen to instructions well, so I found this clip.
Sin City, man. The hills have eyes.
I don't know if that's actually his dad or not, and the comments on that video were trying to figure out the same thing. But either way, shouts out to Sin City. Ski Mask has always been inspired by music and said it was the only thing that he ever knew he was talented at. But his rise to fame didn't come easy. He didn't really start crafting his bars until he was behind bars, where he met a rapper that helped change the course of his life. Together they grew a cult following unlike anything I've ever seen before, and did shows across the country where kids would go wild. Eventually, he would cement himself as one of hip-hop's most promising young acts. Sorry, had to clear my throat. We're good.
So you know what I need? From this side to that side, I need you to turn the f*** up, alright?
Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on when you're watching this. Before you go all up in arms in the comments saying, "We want Michael," who are you? First of all, who are you? That's right, I have no idea. But allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Jeremy Hecht, and I'll be hosting today's video. Michael hired me to help out with videos for this channel so that we can keep expanding and producing more content for you. I recently covered JID and Trippie Redd, and I Trippie read all of your comments, and you guys liked the facts and enjoyed the video, but some of you wanted some more energy, so I just hit a double espresso and I'm fired up. So let me know in the comments how I did and who you want me to cover next. Anyways, let's get to the video. This is an updated version of Ski Mask's bio because so much has happened in his career since the last version, but let's jump right into it.
Hey, be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom!
My name is Beyonce. No, I'm just playing. It's Ski Mask the Slump God. That's about it.
Ski Mask the Slump God was born Stokely Clavon Goulbourne on April 18, 1996 in Broward County, Florida. He's of Jamaican descent and grew up with 4 siblings in Fort Lauderdale, where he would bounce between his mother and father's homes. He doesn't exactly know how to describe his birthplace, but says where he grew up definitely wasn't the suburbs. He says he had both of his parents around, but they weren't totally there for him. At one point, he was even kicked out of his home. He was always getting into trouble and said when he wouldn't behave, his parents would even...
If I was bad, they would shave my head bald and then take my good shoes. I'd have like Bobos, like I'd have some and-ones. I'd go to school with some and-ones, brother, and get made fun of.
I was personally a big fan of the Vince Carter era and-ones, but then again, I never had to go to school after getting my head shaved. But I did buzz my own hair one year and I thought I was pretty hard, so I'm gonna be real, I was about as soft as they come.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ski Mask says all of the girls growing up were into his dad and they were always excited when he would pick Ski Mask up from school. Maybe they were just a fan of his raps?
My dad would pull up to my school and all the girls would try to get at him just because he light-skinned as f.
Music was a big part of his early childhood, with his family always playing classic Jamaican music in the household. On top of that, because of Ski Mask's dad's rap career, he wanted his son to follow in his footsteps. Some parents force their kids to study so they can go to a good college. Others force their kids to rap so they can be a XXL freshman. So when he was around the age of 12, he was pushed to write rhymes.
He would just be like, sit down, write these. I don't want to. No, sit down, write these.
At the time, he hated it, but later he was thankful for the experience and says he wouldn't be where he is today without his dad's help. But he didn't start putting out and recording songs until a few years ago, and says that his first songs were actually trash. He was influenced by many different styles growing up, but says his top 5 rappers are Old Busta Rhymes, Method Man, Old Lil Wayne, Missy Elliott, and Travis Scott. but also listens to genres like heavy metal, indie, grunge, and pop, basically everything except for country. I've got to agree with him there, although I will jam out to a little Zac Brown band here and there. Even with the push from his father, it took some time for his rapping career to become a legitimate option. He honed his skills by freestyling for kids in the neighborhood and writing bars in his notebooks, but speaking of notebooks, he attended Coral Springs High School where he was kicked out for...
I went to Coral Springs High School and I got kicked out of high school for selling fake lean.
I don't know how that happened or why people thought they were getting high from fake lean, but like J. Cole says, then white boys don't know no better. And I can attest to that, we usually don't. That wasn't the end of his troubles though, because when he was 15, he was sent to Broward Juvenile Detention Center for weed possession after getting caught with only $10 worth of weed. It might have been more, but he took matters into his own hands.
I definitely ate some of the weed, some of it.
But if being arrested and eating weed wasn't enough, nothing makes things easier like being high on shrooms at the same time. Ski Mask said he was so high during the time he was getting arrested that he even fell asleep while they were booking him.
Oh man, like literally it was crazy, bro. Oh, I'm like, they're telling me to write my name. I'm looking at them like, what?
But his time in jail turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because it's in juvie where he met XXX Tentacion, who was in for a robbery and gun charge. The two would quickly connect and become friends, and he says there wasn't much to do in jail other than work out or rap, so the two began to rap, banging on tables for beats and practicing their flows. Ski Mask and X formed a collective called Very Rare, which Ski Mask has tatted on his face. The collective still exists, and Ski Mask says when he goes into the bank, he tells the employee he is under Very Rare & Co., and with the amount of money he's dropping in, he probably is in rare company in terms of his tax bracket. Both artists learn from each other though, and about how to better their craft. Ski Mask learned how to be more aggressive with his rapping, and X learned how to loosen up and flow a bit more with his own style. X even gave Ski Mask an extra biscuit or cookie for his birthday spent in jail.
For my birthday, for real, because it's not like they're gonna give you a birthday cake, so.
Real friends. How many of us? The two first contemplated meeting up on the outside to commit crimes together, but luckily they decided to put their creative talents toward a higher purpose of making music. X ordered a snowball mic off of eBay for Ski Mask to rap with and actually recorded his first song for him. The low quality mic and a bad laptop paired with the Audacity recording software is actually what created the distorted sound that made them famous.
So we use distortion in our music now, still.
Okay, so it sounded like that originally because of the mics, and then you decided to keep, that's interesting.
His first official song, Catch Me, dropped on SoundCloud in 2015 and garnered some online buzz because of his unique style and flow. He got his rap name from a few things he was doing at the time, and although he says Xanax played a part in the name Slump God, he doesn't take them anymore. At one point, he might even drop the second half of his name.
The extra Slump God adds upon to making me different, because people can be like, what the f is this? But I plan on dropping the Slump God off of it and just being Ski Mask.
He also recommends that kids not take the drug because it only made him unproductive. The Ski Mask part of his name just represents getting it by any means necessary, but back in Winnipeg, Canada, where I'm from, we would literally just wear ski masks to avoid freezing our faces off, but then again, the place where I grew up definitely was the suburbs. Ski Mask formed a new collective with X called Members Only, which now includes other members like DJ Scheme, Rob Banks, and many more. The duo released their first two mixtapes, Members Only Volumes 1 and 2, later releasing a third volume 2 years later. Ski Mask also released his solo mixtape Drown in Designer in 2016, featuring songs like the Lil Pump assisted Where's the Blow and Take a Step Back, which currently has close to 100 million streams on Spotify. Ironically, he went on tour with Designer in 2017, where although he didn't drown, he did get into some rough exchanges. And unfortunately, it wasn't all love on the tour. His music was heating up, but so was his beef with San Diego rapper Rob Stone, who was also opening up for Designer. There are three sides to every story, both people's recollections and the truth. So I won't go into full detail because you probably already heard all the reports and this is old news, but the beef that stemmed from few onstage interactions, tweets, DMs, threats, and behind the scenes tour politics resulted in Ski Mask and his crew getting attacked from onstage all the way out to the street. One of Ski Mask's friends got stabbed in the mouth, and Ski Mask said there were 10 dudes punching and kicking him. At one point he could barely breathe. I could barely breathe saying that sentence, but whew. He's also named Timbaland as his favorite producer of all time, and got to live out his childhood dream of working with him on a track after Timbaland's kids became a fan of Ski Mask's music. The two collaborated on Catch Me Outside, a track that is now certified gold.
He went on YouTube, grabbed a sound from an airplane flying, sampled that shit, put it in a beat, made it in less than 30 minutes.
He was also able to work with Busta Rhymes and said that working with his childhood idols and biggest influences have been the two happiest moments in his career, and he almost cried both times. They haven't been his only celebrity run-ins though. He even met Nas in a bathroom once.
I met Nas in a Mass Appeal bathroom, and this was washing his face, and I'm sitting there like, what the f? I started tweaking and shit.
But troubles didn't stop for Ski Mask, because in March of 2018, he announced that he would require surgery for a heart condition. He wrote on Twitter, "I stunted my growth and got some type of fat boy disease and have to get surgery over my heart on my chest. I've been avoiding this since the start of my career, checking it out today with a positive mind, pray for me, smiley face." Prayers do go to Ski. On May 1st, 2018, Ski Mask leaked his own mixtape, Becoming the Book of Eli, on SoundCloud, saying on Instagram, 40K comments on this post and I'll drop the tape on SoundCloud and f my old management. But his management quickly removed the project. It was re-released on streaming services on May 11th, but the label removed certain songs including Ski Meets World, With Vengeance, and Worldwide, which he was not too pleased about. The mixtape peaked at number 50 on the US Billboard 200, but he had a lot of disagreements, considering 2 of those tracks were produced by Timbaland and 1 had an Offset feature.
It just dropped like horribly, like not everything that I was expecting or promised or was told that was happening this way really wasn't like that.
But he's happy he went through it because of the lessons that he learned. Speaking of managers though, him and X had an old manager who was actually a porn star named Bruno Dickums, whose work we can't show on here for ad reasons, but his discography, well, let's just say it had some bangers. They all basically lived in a porn house where porn stars and strippers would be coming in and out of the place, no pun intended, and Ski Mask says some wild things happened in that house.
Accidentally forced me to meet like a lot of famous porn stars and shit. Told me the porn stars he fucked, he most likely fucked the porn star that she really like. Like I even asked him about the porn stars I was talking about.
He was selected as a part of the 2018 XXL freshman class and surprised a lot of people with his flows.
We had to take a lunch break and had to come back because this dude had to come and snap on the cypher real quick. Had to make me sit down and think about mine. Other than that, it was fire.
He also recently accused Drake of stealing his do-rag style. And although it sounds stupid, the way Drake sports his do-rag in the Non-Stop video is very similar to Ski Mask's sideways style. I just think that do-rag beef is the most hilarious thing happening right now. On June 18th, Ski Mask's good friend XXXTentacion died from gunshots, and it's clear that it's had a long-lasting effect on the rapper. Although the two had their ups and downs, they started in this game together and still had so much left to do musically. Ski Mask posted a pic on Instagram of the late artist saying, 5 fucking months, I still and will never comprehend how to cope. Can't be thankful enough for you still being there with me always. He also paid tribute to X at multiple shows, saying that he hopes to take some of X's energy that still lives within him and give it to the crowd.
With me, or you with X, yo, please do this for me.
After many delays, as I was writing this script, we finally received the track list for Ski Mask's debut album with the iconic cover for Stokely, which includes features from Young Thug, Lil Baby, Lil Yachty, and Juice WRLD. And this is a 13-track album, and although I'm recording this on the 29th, it should be out by the time you watch this. As for what's next, in 10 years he hopes he will be retired. He wants to remove all of his tattoos and follow Childish Gambino's career path, making movies and being out of sight. He has talked a lot about the afterlife and says,
because I feel like I know there's something after this, you feel me? And I feel like that's the best thing I feel like that's what, even though people are scared of death, I feel like that's what is the best thing of what we're waiting for is after death.
He also talks about wanting to make it into the 27 club, but he still has a lot of things to check off his bucket list to complete, like skydiving, bungee jumping, and
I want a cougar that been famous. So she has to be like kind of old. Salt and pepper, brother. Pepper and salt. Where you at? No.
So I hope he sticks around to see his dreams come true, and just because the kid has a lot of potential for long-term greatness. I don't want to see him go. As for the rest of the story, well, you know it because this is before they were famous. My name's Jeremy Hecht, and thanks for allowing me to be a part of your day. You guys requested this one, so be sure to let me know down in the comments who's next. I hope you have one hecht of a day.